Meet Emily, a 65-year-old retired nurse from Thailand. She has 3 children, Chad, Ray, and Maisie. Maisie is married and moved to live in another country. Chad is a doctor and Ray is a truck driver. Emily's husband recently died from a rare illness. This has led her into deep depression. As a result, she spends most of her time with her granddaughter Lily. Lily is an active 3-year-old girl. On a bright sunny morning, Emily went for her usual checkup at the doctor's office. On her way, she met a woman named Jade. Jade told her about some English classes that was kept at the community center. Emily thought that this was her opportunity to learn a second language since she had always wanted to teach people from all over the world how to care for their bodies. The next day, Emily went to the community center and registered for one of the English classes. She was given permission to take her granddaughter with her. Emily was happy. Her desire to learn English had led her to buy several textbooks. She even started watching movies in her language with subtitles. The class was filled with younger people, all eager to Learn English. The teacher encouraged them to watch movies and listen to music in English instead of their native language. Emily read all her books and completed all her assignments. She also watched movies and listened to daily news in English. Emily was at the top of her English class. She spelled all the words correctly and aced her first test. Emily was able to identify and name items in English. However, she struggled to introduce herself in English to the class. Some of the younger attendees would giggle or whisper, and Emily felt their scorn deeply. Despite her best efforts, she found speaking English difficult. One day, the teacher gave all attendees a DVD. The DVD contains a movie in English without subtitles. She told them watch the movie every day. Emily started watching the movie, but soon fell asleep because she couldn't understand anything. Although Emily did not understand anything in the movie, she would allow Lily to watch it while she performs her household chores. Lily really enjoyed watching the movie because she would clap and sing along with the actors. Emily was happy that something finally caught Lily's attention. She now had the time to read more books in English and take more notes while trying to teach herself to speak English. Yet, no matter how hard she tried, speaking English remained an elusive goal. Feeling disheartened, Emily shifted her focus back to her everyday routines, sleeping and eating. Emily knew many words in English, but she could not put them in a sentence. She would normally stutter and her voice cracks when she tries to speak English. Emily tried hard to prepare for her oral English exam, which she knew she was going to fail. The day finally came for the English oral exam. All the students were surprised to see a visitor. The teacher introduced the visitor to the class. He was a native English speaker. He had an English scholarship for the top student who could engage with him in a 3-minute fluent English conversation. Emily was nervous. She could hear her heart beating. She knew she was the top student, but she couldn't speak English. She looked down at Lily and smiled, trying to release some of her nervousness. The visitor spoke to the class and told them to relax. Because of his deep accent, Emily could hardly understand what he was saying. The exam started with a simple conversation with the visitor and the teacher. All the students listened, but the conversation was too fast. A timer was placed on the teacher's desk. It made a loud sound when the 3 minutes ended. Each student got a chance to speak with the visitor. The conversation did not go very well because the students took too much time to respond. Then it was Emily's turn. Timidly, she walked to the front of the class with her head hanging down, holding Lily's hand. The visitor greeted them by saying,
"Good afternoon. My name is George. I am a professor at one of the most prestigious universities. What is your name and why do you want to learn English?"
To Emily's surprise, Lily responded,
"Good afternoon. My name is Lily. I am here with my grandmother. We want to learn English because we want to talk with people all over the world."
Wow. How old are you?
I am 3 years old.
Who do you live with?
I live with my grandmother and my father.
What do you want to be when you become an adult?
I want to become a doctor just like my daddy.
Wow. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Emily froze. She stared at Lily, eyed wide open and speechless. The words were clear, fluent, and unmistakably in English. For a moment, Emily couldn't believe what she had just heard. Could it be that her 3-year-old granddaughter, whom she had always spoken to in their native language, had just spoken English? The class gave a loud applause. The visitor hugged Lily tightly. Emily felt ashamed of herself. She didn't open her mouth during the conversation. However, she was amazed at how Lily speaks. Lily did not study any books or wrote any new words, but she stood fearless, speaking like a native. It dawned on Emily's mind. All those hours of watching the movie on the DVD and singing the songs had somehow seeped into Lily's mind, teaching her English effortlessly without the stress or pressure of studying. The realization struck Emily like a bolt of lightning. If a 3-year-old could learn English just by listening, singing, and watching movies, why couldn't she? This must be the secret to speak English like a native. Inspired by Lily's unexpected proficiency, Emily decided to examine the content of the DVD in detail. The DVD contains a self-introduction, just like what happened in the oral exam. It also has a question and answer section, as well as a sing with me section. Emily and Lily watched the DVD every day, and since she stopped reading books, she had more time to practice speaking with the DVD. She listened carefully, mimicking the words and phrases she heard, absorbing the language the way her granddaughter had done. The process was slow, but with time, Emily began to notice changes in herself. Words that had once felt foreign and difficult now rolled off her tongue with ease. Simple sentences turned into conversations, and soon enough, Emily was speaking English fluently with her granddaughter Lily. Emily now knows the secret to learning any language. The first method she used is to listen to native speakers every day by watching movies or listening to her favorite podcast. This allows her to become comfortable with the sounds and the pronunciation of the language. Emily would listen to podcasts and health-related audiobooks while bathing, doing her chores, or shopping. She also attends the theater and watched English movies. The second method was the most effective. Emily and Lily would mimic native speakers. She would pause the video or the podcast and repeat the words and phrases with the same tone, emotion, and pronunciation. She later learned that this method of learning is called shadowing. Although this method is effective, Emily noticed that it is time-consuming because she must repeat the phrases until it sounds exactly like a native. To make this method more fun, she and Lily would role-play the different scenes in the movies. One day, Emily received a call from her English teacher. She wanted her to take over her role at the community center. Since she had decided to take the scholarship to further her studies in English, Emily was elated. This was an exciting opportunity because she could share her secret with others. Emily met with the teacher and learned that she also knew the secret to learning English, which she placed on the DVD. Emily was given permission to continue using the DVD and to share it with her students. Emily hugged her teacher and thanked her for giving her an opportunity to speak English. Emily continued using the listening and shadowing technique until she could speak English without thinking. She had started this journey hoping to share her knowledge with the world. But along the way, she had learned an invaluable lesson herself. Who would have known that a 3-year-old girl would reveal to her grandmother the secret to learn English? Emily smiled at Lily, who smiled back at her with pride.